Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Masters League Magnificence out of the map Frost LE. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, we do have Tact X's Bane as our dark green Terran player. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Hordeon as our pink Zerg. And I think this is a practice game because, you know, they're both using not red and blue. However, at the same time, I've heard people that can do that, and I don't believe them. So I'm just going to call it a practice game, but, you know, if you know how to do it, just tell me. I don't want to be red or blue anymore. And if you happen to work at Blizzard, and trust me, David Kim, I know you're watching. Just fix that setting, all right? Let us choose our colors. I won't see the issue. You know, just have the person higher in the rank get preference, and if you don't, and if like you both pick the same color, the other person gets red or blue, and it just kind of sucks to be them for that game. All right. Now, granted, everyone will pick pink, but at the same time, it's perfectly fine because, of course, pink is the best color. Dark green's a close second, maybe teal after that, but pink easily first, because, I mean, let's be honest, just look at these pink drones. They're so cute, they're so feminine, so awesome. Yeah, cute little pinky drone. Yeah, oh yeah, cute little pink drones. Alright, so anyway, we are going to have the drone scout from Hordeon moving out here. I'm a little bit surprised to not see actually going to build a hatchery. However, I would not be too surprised to see, yeah, there we go. Alright, one drone's going to be going down there to build a hatchery. Actually, that is a much better timed drone now. Of course, he is moving up to 16 before the hatch, a little bit further than most players go. Most players stop at 15, but, you know, it's Frost LE, and you're never in that much danger on Frost. It's a huge map, like, ridiculously huge map. I think this might be the biggest map that's ever been. No, it's Alderine. Never mind. I was like in the middle of that sentence and I was like, wait a second. Alderine. Right. Alderine. One of the most ridiculously huge maps I've ever seen. This one's pretty big, but Alderine just does not even compare to Alderine. God, that was a fun map to play on. It's so imbalanced, but it's so fun. Alright, so anyway, we do have the spotting pool coming down for Hordeon. So he is going to be getting those defensive units up in just a little bit. Now, of course, he did scout cross positions, and he knows his opponent is in cross positions, so he is not that scared at all. There's really nothing frightening about a cross position Terran player. They really can't do anything. I mean, even Reapers on Frost take a while purely because, I mean, there aren't really cliffs you have to cross. It's all these, like, valleys that Reapers can't get across. Like, Reapers can't jump down in that. Even though it would be awesome if Reapers could just, like, jetpack across level valleys, but that would probably make them a little bit strong. So, you know, you can't, because then they would I think technically just be flying units, because they can fly over cliffs and fly over valleys. Yeah, probably would technically just be flying units. Alright, so anyway, we are going to have Bane moving up here with one of his SCVs. He will be able to get the scout off. He should be able to get the scout off. Yeah, those Zerglings aren't going to be able to stop that SCV in time. So the SCV will see what's going on here, and he'll know what's up. Manages to... I don't think he actually saw that second gas, which is pretty huge. He actually does not know if there is gas out on the map, which is a little bit frightening for Bane, because that's a huge tell about whether or not your opponent's going to be going aggressively. I think he's going to just assume that he doesn't have gas. That's what it kind of looks like to me anyway. We do have the factory coming up. There will be Hellions out, so those Hellions will be exceedingly nice against a no-gas Zerg, because again, there can't be any roaches or anything that can really fight off Hellions other than these Queens. And if the Hellions can manage to get through the Queens, it's basically going to be a lot of damage for Bane. So it's really all going to be about Hordeon's micro here. We're actually going to see, will he lift off the factory yet? Alright, so we will be seeing Hellions in production right now. I would be surprised to see anything else come up, but it could be Widow Mines, but it's not going to be Widow Mines. There's absolutely zero chance it's going to be Widow Mines. That would be absolutely insane. And I would actually just call Bane a silly goose, really, in every form of the word. So we are going to have those two Hellions coming out at this point. A couple of Marines are going to be camping out that bunker. Bane getting his full wall up, and it looks like Hordeon is going to be going for a third hatchery. Actually, yeah, I can see that. It's a little bit awkward to decide which hatchery to go for. This is definitely a little bit of the safer one, I would say, at least in these spawn positions. Now, of course, if your opponent spawns horizontally to you, this is the much safer one. And if your opponent spawns vertically, you know, it goes back to this one being the safest. Purely because the way that most units are going to attack is through this little valley right here and then down. And they're going to be able to get to that third base rather fast. However, at the same time, it is easier to spread creep to this base, so it's really a trade-off either way. And it's not that big of a difference, no matter what goes down. However, it does give Hordeon a nice pocket base if he ever does need to take something late in the game. He has a nice safe base to do it at, and you know, it's not that bad to have a 4th base there, especially on Frost, because your 4th on Frost is basically your last base that you can take super safely. I mean, it's very hard to reinforce any other base, really, at all. I would say this base is probably the next easiest to reinforce, but even that's a little bit awkward. It's still a little bit out there. This one might be close, but the issue is that then you're getting really close to your Terran opponent. So anyway, we are going to have these Hellions moving up. They will be getting that Zelnaga tower. They will be seeing everything that's going down. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're probably going to attack soon-ish. We still finally have gas for Hordeon. He is going for +1/+1, which makes him pretty dangerous. I would say that these Zerglings are going to get scary quite fast. Does he have speed though? No, and he's not even getting speed. Interesting strategy from Hordeon, completely speedless Lings. That's not going to be good when it comes to these Hellions, and it looks like he's finally getting speed. However, he really needed to be getting that before either of these upgrades. So he's going to be in a little bit of an awkward spot for the next 10 minutes or so. Or, well, the next actual minute. Why did I say 10? I am going crazy. Holy crap. I was just completely on autopilot there, and I said 10 minutes, and I was like, wait a second, Boisterous. That's not how this works. It's not how this game works. So anyway, we are going to have that metabolic boost coming out, so in about 2 minutes, he's going to be perfectly safe again. However, if these Hellions decide to attack anytime in that window, it's going to be a little bit more dangerous than Hordeon wants. We do have a Spire actually coming up. Interesting strategy. Not too surprising that he is going to be going for Ling Bling Muta, which is a pretty standard strategy at this point. I mean, it's what a lot of people use when, you know, they're transitioning up into the higher tech, because it's probably one of the safer ones because it does not quite get crippled by Widow Mines as much. Like if a good Widow Mine gets off, you're done. However, the fact about Ling Bling Muta is that they're just so fast that you can actually just send Zerglings in and really pick off those Mutas, as Life showed us in the first Heartless Swarm tournament that he won, because that was just absurd, because every Zerg lost to Widow Mines. They just had no idea how to deal with it, and Life was like, what the hell are you guys doing? You just poke a couple Zerglings out in front of all your units all the time, like 24/7. Everyone's like, oh, micro, right, micro. That's how you do it. Anyway, if we look at Bane's front, we do have 3 orbital commands up at this point, so he will be getting quite the effective amount of minerals. Yeah, that was a correct sentence. That was definitely right. We do also have a reactored starport coming up, so we will be seeing medevacs take off. However, other than that, it looks like he's going to be sticking to a mostly bio composition. In fact, a full marine bio composition. It looks like it's really just going to be Marines and Widow Mines. Or Marines, yeah, Marines and Widow Mines, basically. That's basically going to be it. Which isn't too much of a surprise. That's kind of where the meta for Terran players is going at this point. Siege tanks have definitely fallen off in a big way, and I'm actually kind of surprised. I want to see a resurgence of siege tanks happen, but I don't think it's going to happen until they either get buffed or Widow Mines get nerfed a little bit, because Widow Mines are just so damn good for their cost, and it's hard to compete with their cost. So anyway, we are going to have these Hellions poking up. They will be sniping off a creep tumor. However, with this spread that Hordeon's been pulling off, it won't matter too much. Hordeon's been actually playing this magnificently, playing this perfectly, I would say. He's really been nailing all of his creep, all of his injects, and all of his creep tumors. Well, other than that inject, and 2 injects before that. But, you know, he's been doing a good job. Shut up. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tell my viewers to shut up. Haha. Alright, so anyway, we are going to have quite a few Mutasks coming out. And we actually, man, what is with Zerg players and just completely... What is with players in general and just completely breaking off my base prediction? I was really thinking he was going to take the safe pocket base, but it looks like he wants to delay that for a while, and I really hope that this doesn't turn out like the Zerg player from last game, where he doesn't take that pocket base and he just cannot keep up with a low econ army. So I hope he takes that pocket base as at least his 5th base, because I mean, I guess he could take this one up here, but that one's super prone to drops. This one even more so, and even this one even more so. There's really no other safe base to take that is not unbelievably prone to drops. Like, this one's kind of prone, but it's not horrible. This one you can kind of sling medevacs around the side and just murder you. So it looks like we have a little bit of a move forward from Hordeon. We're going to be moving up. Hordeon managing to snipe off a couple of Marines and a couple of Hellions. Pretty fancy. However, again, he's going to be facing off against Widowmines, and it's all going to be about his micro in this next upcoming battle. I'm interested to see what he actually decides to do. We have his army kind of all in position up here, but I'm not quite sure why, because he does not want to move up yet. I mean, there's absolutely no indication that he's going to be moving up at any time soon. We do actually have Thors in production for Bane. A little bit interesting. I haven't seen Thors in a while. I like it because it forces those mutas out, but at the same time, they kind of do the exact same thing that Widowmines do. Except, yeah, I guess I enjoy it just because it really stops you from being able to like pick off your Widowmines and then fly in. And actually we have a counterattack going off here. All of the Banelings just blowing up on random structures. That's not a great strategy. We are going to have some nice splitting happening from these Marines maybe eventually. Oh, there's the Widowmines. Oh, that was a lot of Widowmines. Looks like we are going to have these Banelings going through and actually being able to pick off the entirety of Bane's army. Bane is going to be forced back at this point. However, he does manage to get those reinforcing Marines and be perfectly fine. Where are the mutas? Yeah, the mutas are all okay. One of them took some damage. I think one of them might have gotten sniped, but it really wasn't too terrible. It looks like we do have 42 Zerglings on the way, so we are going to have quite the surge from Hordeon happening right now. But this counterattack from Bane is showing Hordeon why he doesn't want to take his base up here. It's going to be exceedingly hard for him to defend this, especially against Widowmines, because these Widowmines are just going to really cut off this reinforcement route, which is quite terrible. It looks like this hatchery is going to fall at this point. Hordeon just completely giving up on it. He is instead going to be taking that safe pocket expansion. It's nice that he managed to take as many minerals as he could from these patches and then just get out before it got dangerous. But, you know, it's still a little bit awkward to lose stuff like that. It looks like we are going to have the Storm moving forward, getting 4 kills, you know, just being here in general, you know, the Thor is there. It looks like we are going to have quite a few Banelings rolling up here. Some nice Widowmine placement, however, it is all too close together, so they are going to pick off just one little tiny front of those Zerglings and really nothing else. It looks like we are going to have quite a bad engagement for Bane happening right here, as we do have Hordeon really just surging over his opponent, and Bane with basically just a tiny army at this point. And Hordeon's actually going to be pushing the advantage right now. Definitely the right choice. We are going to see the Snore taking an impressive amount of damage. I think it might actually go down. It does manage to soak up a couple of Baneling hits, but nothing too impressive. Some nice Marine splitting, excuse me, is going to be able to protect them against these Banelings, and that's exceedingly important. However, honestly, I think Hordeon could really be doing some more damage here. I think he could have taken that fight against those Marines without too much of an issue. Now, of course, he didn't really know if there were any Widowmines there, which I think is why he turned around. But he easily could have taken and won that fight, purely because split Marines are just not as good against Mutalisks. They really aren't. Because even though the bounces don't happen as much for Mutalisks, again, the bounces only account for a third of their damage. It's really nothing too important if the third bounce doesn't go, or even if the second bounce doesn't go. It's only 4 damage versus the 9 they get on that first hit, and actually the 10 they get on the first hit, because they are at +1. So anyway, we did have a small drop moving out and around here. It is going to be going right for this base. However, with some good creep tumor spreading, it will get sniped off, and ouch, that's not going to be great for Bane. He actually manages to get all of the Marines out, so he does do some damage to the Mutalisks, but not quite enough to actually kill one. One of them got close, got down to 23 health, but it was just barely not enough. So we are going to see Bane moving out here with his Marines, and he's going to be picking off these creep tumors, which again is very important for Terran players to do. It really stops the Zerg player from taking the entire map. However, honestly, Hordeon is in a pretty safe spot. I mean, even with just this much map, it's going to be very hard for Bane to get any drops off. It's going to be very hard for Bane to actually attack into that creep. He's going to have to do it very slow, which is what siege tanks really excelled at, and it's kind of the issue with getting these Widowmines, is that Widowmines are not that great at actually holding a position, purely because once they fire off once, they can't hold that position for another 120 seconds. You actually have to uproot and pull back, or uproot and move forward. You can't really stay in one spot and just be protected by Widowmines because you set up that position. So anyway, we are going to have Bane moving in here. Maybe not. Nope. He's going to be pulling back. It looks like we do have an Ultralisk Cavern actually coming out from Hordeon. Not too much of a surprise. Ultras have been coming up, and they have been exceedingly nice lately. I've seen them grow in popularity a lot versus their Broodlord companions, purely because this Ling Bling Muta strategy is so perfect. and so good, and really just needs to elevate it from an ultra to be able to tank a lot of Widowmine shots and a lot of range shots. Looks like we are going to have an engagement happening here, but oh my god, those Widowmines. Ouch. That was a lot of Widowmines. That was a lot of Widowmines exploding basically everything. And these Mutalisks are actually going to get pushed back from Hordeon, but he does have 5 Ultras on the way, and those are going to be very dangerous. I think that Bane, he might be able to do some damage to at least the creep spread, but I don't know about anything other than that. It looks like this creep spread will be dying a little bit. He doesn't manage to snipe off this creep tumor, which is a little bit annoying, but he is going to be moving through and just trying to cull as much creep as possible, and actually doing quite a good job at it. But again, those 5 Ultralisks are on their way in 20 seconds. Of course, 3 of them are spawning down here at this 4th base, which puts them quite far away for Ultralisks, at least to run. And I don't know. I mean, Hordeon should be able to hold this without too much of an issue. Now that Bane's actually on the creep, he should just be able to roll into this giant army and really just crush. Especially with these 5 Ultras on the way, because these Ultras, again, are just going to be the main bodies, especially at 5-3, which these Ultras are almost at. Right now, they're only at 3-2. However, they're going to be getting much stronger over the next few seconds. And it looks like we are going to have these Ultras moving in, and oh my god, just crushing so much. Looks like that Thor is going to be falling to a couple of Baneling shots. A little bit interesting to see Banelings actually exploding on a Thor, but, you know, can't judge him. He's doing his best. Looks like we are going to have that Chitinous Plating finishing in 10 seconds, and actually the Zerg Ground Carapace finishing just after that. So these Ultras are going to be 3-5, or 5-3, excuse me, very soon. And those 5-3 Ultras are dangerous, let me tell you. I mean, if we look at the Marines, they're only doing 8 damage, so they're doing 3 damage per shot to these Ultras. That's scary. It's going to take over like 150 shots to take down an Ultra, which is bad. I mean, 150 Marine shots, they do a lot of damage, but they don't do it that fast. I mean, I guess a group of them can take one down in probably 10 seconds? Actually, it depends on the amount of Marines, I guess. So they fire 0.86 times, so if you have 10 Marines, they can take down 1 Ultra in about 10 seconds, give or take. But again, it's still not great. Still not great. And considering that these things are just giant hulking turtles of death, essentially. And if you can't really take them out, then you need to take out their support. And if you can't take out their support, you die. So we are going to see Hordeon moving up here with these Mutalisks. He's getting a couple of Overseers. He is able to see those Widowmines, which is important. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not important. It's nice to have those Overseers up just, you know, in case you can snipe off those Widowmines fast enough, but I'm honestly not confident that he has the units required to actually just snipe off Widowmines. He probably just needs to be able to tank through them, and with these Ultralisks, he should be in a reasonable position for this. They still do a ton of damage. They actually deal, yeah, 125 damage, so it takes 5 Widowmine shots to kill off an Ultralisk. I'm actually not sure if Widowmine shots are affected by armor. I don't believe they are, but they might be. Should probably look that up and actually know about this game, but you know, nah, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it for the rest of my life. That's kind of my plan forever. In fact, is just to wing everything ever. Anyway, we are going to have these Ultralisks moving out at this point. They are going to be going a little bit more on the aggressive side. They are, of course, coming off the creep right now, so they are going to be quite slow. However, with a nice support army of Mutalisks, and oh no, oh god, oh, Hordeon flying it right into the units of our Terran player, and that's going to be a little bit dangerous. It looks like Bane is going to be moving forward here. Oh man, those Ultras do a lot of damage. However, they are going to see those Widowmines, and they're going to be able to pick off those Widowmines. Oh my god, Hordeon actually just rolling through the army of Bane right now, attacking as much as possible. And it looks like these Ultras might finally be brought down, but without good. Wow, that was Bane. You can stim back and, like, you know, just fight the Ultras. They don't move that fast. I mean, you don't just need to stand there and take the smacking. Now, granted, I mean, it was a little bit hectic there. There was a lot of splitting that happened. It was good splitting. However, it looks like this Marauder will be basically the lone survivor. Actually, no, there's a pack of like 7 Marauders that are going to be going down and taking down this Ultra. However, without a significant reinforcement of Marines, it's going to be a little bit hard for Bane to really take this back. And actually, no, it's going to be perfectly fine because all of the Mutalisks decided to stack up right on top of each other. And that's basically exactly what Bane needed. Now, of course, Hordeon still taking quite a bit of a lead here. And Bane, really those Thors are starting to hurt because those Thors are not great versus the Ultralisks. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That was the sentence I wanted to put together. And honestly, Hordeon has just taken way too much of this map, and I think he might just be able to push Bane back, to be honest. I don't really see a way for Bane to come back out of this. I mean, he's definitely on the back foot at this point, and I'm really not sure if he can recover. We do have some nice kiting action going on, which is always an issue with Ultras, is that they don't really have a closing maneuver and like teaming them up with infestors. But of course, if your opponent just stops running away with his units, you're perfectly fine. And it looks like Hordeon, his army's just too big. I mean, he could literally just A-move and not even care. Just literally wait until his opponent's units back themselves into a corner, and he would just win that way. But anyway, it looks like we are going to have a small movement from Hordeon moving out here. He does know that his command center's here, or at least I'm assuming he does, because he's moving all of his units over there. Maybe not, maybe not. No. He's just going to be going right for this base. And honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter what Hordeon does. Bane is down to 74 supply, Hordeon up at 196. I mean, this is just going to be a slaughter fest. It looks like this planetary fortress is going to go down exceedingly fast. And I really don't see a way for Bane to claw his way back into this game. He just does not have the money versus Hordeon's extreme pack of money. Just huge, massive packs of money. And I mean, Bane's going to be doing his best, but his best is not going to be enough at all. Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough. I can't see Hordeon losing at any point. Even with like SCVs returning a planetary fortress, it just doesn't matter. Even with good microback, it just doesn't matter. I mean, these Ultras, if they get one hit off, they're going to kill this entire pack of Marines. Maybe 2 hits off. Oh yeah, it's going to take 2 hits. At least to cleave them all down. But I mean, you know, 2 hits doesn't matter much. It's not really that horrible. It looks like they are actually going to be moving forward into a giant pack of bio. But again, when you have an Ultra train like this and a bank like that, it just doesn't matter anymore. So we are going to have these Ultras moving in. They will be able to get pushed back by these mules, or by these Marines, but it just doesn't matter. And Bane is going to be forced to call it GG. So congratulations to Hordeon. That was actually really well played. I'm glad he took this base, because if he didn't, it was going to get a little bit sketchy, because if he tried to retake this base, I mean, Bane would have just kept sniping it. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you want your games commentated, send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com, or you can always message me on YouTube with just like a link to the game on DropSC or whatever. Also, be sure to check out Extraterrestrial. All their information should be down in the box. I should be starting up commentating for them either this week or next week, and I'm pretty excited for that. And yeah, subscribe, youtube.com/boisteroussc2, and this is Boisterous signing out.